Hey guys, good morning. So today we are going to discuss forms of poetry. So there are many forms of poetry. So today we are going to discuss our first form, that is sonnet. Okay. So sonnet, it is a poem of problems and solutions. It is a poem of problems and solutions. It is 14 lines poem. Sonnet has 14 lines. Okay. The term sonnet was first introduced by Francisco Petrarch. The term sonnet was first introduced by Francisco Petrarch. He wrote first sonnet in Italian language. Means Francisco Petrarch wrote first sonnet in Italian language. Okay. So basically there are two types of sonnets. First one is Italian sonnet, second one is English sonnet. Okay. What we have discussed, there are 14 lines in sonnets. Okay, it is a poem of problems and solutions. The term sonnet was first introduced by whom? Francisco Petrarch. After that, he wrote first sonnet in Italian language. Okay, and there are two types of sonnets. First one is Italian sonnet, second one is English sonnet. So now we are going to discuss our first type of sonnet, that is Italian sonnet. Okay, it is also known as Petrarchian sonnet. Okay, it is also known as Petrarchan sonnet. Okay, so Italian sonnet is also known as Petrarchan sonnet. Italian sonnet divided into two types. Italian sonnet divided into two types. First type is octave. Octave means what? 8 lines. Okay. Next one is sestet. Sestet means what? 6 lines, not 7 lines. Okay, so 8 plus 6 is equal to 14 lines. So sonnet is a combination of what? 8 plus 6 is equal to 14 lines. Already we have discussed what? Sonnet has 14 lines. Similarly here octave means 8 lines, sestet means what? 6 lines. Okay. And its rhyme scheme is A B B A A B B A C D E D C E. Okay. This is what? Its rhyme scheme. Octave expresses problems and questions. Octave means what here? Octave means what? 8 lines we have discussed. Okay. Octave expresses what? Problems and questions. Now next, sestet expresses answers or solutions. Sestet means what? 6 lines. 8 plus 6 is equal to what? 14. So already we have discussed what? Sonnet has 14 lines. Now first 8 lines means octave expresses what? Problems or questions. And last 6 lines means sestet expresses what? Answers or solutions. Okay. When the poet moves from 8th line to 9th line, means from question to solution, at that time the 9th line is known as volta. Again I repeat, when the poet moves from 8th line to 9th line, means from questions to solutions or answers we can say, at that time the 9th line is known as what? Volta. Okay. Already we have discussed what? Sonnet has 14 lines. Okay, and 14 lines are divided into what? 8 plus 6. First 8 lines are what? Octave. Octave means what? Octave expresses problems or questions. Okay, means the first 8 lines of Italian sonnet expresses problems and questions, and last 6 lines of sonnet, or especially Italian sonnet, expresses what? Answers and solutions. And the 9th line of Italian sonnet is also known as volta. Okay, is it clear? So now we are going to discuss about English sonnet. We have already discussed what? There are mainly two types of sonnet. First one is Italian, second one is English. Just we have discussed about what? Italian sonnet. Now we are going to discuss about English sonnet. Okay, so English sonnet is also known as what? Shakespearean sonnet. It is also known as Shakespearean sonnet. Okay, Thomas Watt first introduced sonnet in English language. Who introduced sonnet in English language? Firstly, Thomas Watt. Okay, Earl of Surrey made some changes in Italian sonnet. Earl of Surrey made some changes in Italian sonnet. This person made some changes in where? In Italian sonnet. Okay. So sonnet structure according to Earl of Surrey is what? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, is equal to 14. Here the pattern is what? 8 plus 6. But here the pattern is what? 3 times what? Quatrain and 1 is couplet. Means 4 plus 4 plus 4 and plus 2 is equal to 14. This is the pattern made by whom? Earl of Surrey. Okay. And its rhyme scheme is A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. Okay. English sonnets also expresses problems and solutions as like Italian sonnet. Okay, we have discussed what Italian sonnets first 8 lines suggest or expresses what problems and questions, and last 6 lines expresses what answers and solutions. Similarly, English sonnets also expresses problems and solutions as like Italian sonnet. First 8 lines shows questions or problems, and from ninth line next part is solution or solutions we can say. Okay, and ninth line is also known as volta. As like Italian sonnet, here is also ninth line is also known as volta. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets. Okay, he used the structure like 12 plus 2. He used the structure of what? 12 plus 2. We have discussed Italian sonnet. The structure is what? 8 plus 6. Okay. We have discussed English sonnet. The structure is what? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, but here Shakespeare used the structure of what? 12 plus 2. 12 lines are for problems or questions, and last 2 lines are for what? Of course, answers and solutions. Okay. Now modern sonnets doesn't follow the rhyme scheme of sonnet. But now modern sonnets doesn't follow what? Rhyme scheme of sonnet. It means the modern sonnets are 14 lines, no doubt, but they doesn't follow any rhyme scheme. Okay, we have seen 2 rhyme schemes, that is Italian sonnets and English sonnets rhyme scheme. Okay, but modern sonnet what? It doesn't follows any rhyme scheme. Okay. Occitan sonnets. It has a romantic language. Which sonnet has romantic language? Occitan sonnets. Okay, so Occitan sonnet is equal to what? Romantic language. Okay, so next one is curtal sonnet. Okay, next one is what? Curtal sonnets. Okay, G.M. Hopkins developed this sonnet. He made small size sonnets like 10.5 lines. Means what? 10 full lines and 1 half line. Curtal sonnets means what? It is developed by whom? G.M. Hopkins, and he made what? Small size sonnets. Means what? The size is what? 10.5 lines. Means what? 10 full lines and 1 half line. Okay. Sonnet is the important form of poetry. Yes, we have discussed what? Our first kind or first type of poetry, that is sonnet. Okay. Now we are going to discuss some famous work. John Milton. And John Milton's famous sonnet is what? On his blindness. Okay. Next one is William Shakespeare. Okay. His sonnet's name is what? Sonnet 18. It is its name. And shall I compare 3 to summer's day? Okay. So this one is Shakespeare's famous sonnet. Okay. The term sonnet originated in the 13th century. The term sonnet originated in the 13th century among the Sicilian schools of court of poets. Among the Sicilian school of court of poets, who were influenced by what? By love poetry. The term sonnet originated in 13th century among the Sicilian school of court of poets, who were influenced by the love poetry. Okay, and our last point, by using sonnet we can express our thoughts, feelings and emotions, we can say, in the form of problems and solutions, means in the structure of 14 lines. Okay, so thank you for watching it.